Hello, welcome, and Happy New Year. My name is Andreas Schöning, and I'm Feng Shui consultant since more than 20 years. And in this video, I'd like to give you my ideas about the transformation from the year 2020 to 2021. And I hope that it can be useful for you to understand what's happening and to make the best of the situation. And it will be about astrology as well as Feng Shui. But sorry, it will be quite technical, so I'd like to start with a little story first. And this story is about a couple where I had a consultation, and we talked about the situation of each person in terms of astrology, and I explained about the characteristics of the animal signs of the year. And especially for the lady, it was twofold because she was born in such a transition period like we have now. And I explained about the first year and the second year, and that it was a bit difficult to decide which characteristic would be dominant in her. And suddenly the man said, wow, now I understand a little bit. And thanks for that, because sometimes when I talk to my lady, she just switches from one to another behavior. And I never understood it, and I thought I had made a mistake myself or whatever. And now I know that it's just that she decided to flip to another version of her own personality. And so if you're born in this transition period yourself, maybe it helps you understand if you are not very consistent with your own behavior, and you can explain to your partners and to the family that they should be watching out for what's happening and don't blame themselves. And also don't blame a child. If you're about to get a child the coming weeks, the child may also switch behavior from one day to the other. And you know that it's not your fault, but it's part of the personality of the child. So maybe this is useful information for you, and I hope I can give you more in the next coming minutes. Should you have any question concerning the video or in general about Chinese astrology or Feng Shui, then please contact me. As said before, I've been trained by various Asian grandmasters and practicing Feng Shui since more than 20 years now. And here is how you can contact me either by mail or by phone and WhatsApp. And I'm always happy to receive a question. And if it's a short one, I'll answer it immediately, and it's without any charge. And if it's a long one, well, we have to talk about that. And I'm happy to do an online consultation for you as well as answering short questions. But for now, we talk about the transition from 2020 to 21, and it's going from the red to the year of the ox, and we are passing the month of the ox in between, and I will tell you more about that in a minute. And it's not going to be a real outlook for 21. That's going to be in separate videos, and I hope you will stay with me till then. Now, for now, I'm talking about the calendar as we know it, and then the Chinese solar and lunar calendar. And yes, the Chinese have two calendars, and sometimes it's important to know about this, and sometimes it's important to know about that one. And from that, we will get some ideas of the beginning of the year, the beginning of months. We have to talk about local time and China time. And I will also give you some idea on the positioning of the flying star number 5, which is important because it's known as the troublemaker. And I already did a video about the situation in December 2020, where it's causing some things which might be worth considering for your well-being. So When can we expect to enter the new year 2021? Well, according to this chart, there's three possibilities. The first one coming up is solstice on December 21st. And that's about what the Chinese people did several hundred years ago. They celebrated this as the new year. Now they still celebrate solstice, and also solstice is celebrated around the world because the sun has a new swing after this day, and we are entering a new period of time. And so it's worth celebrating. More about that later. But the official Chinese New Year is in February, and I decided to do this chart on the Central European time, and then it's the 11th. Later I will explain why in China it's the 12th of February. Now that's about here, and in between we have the change according to the solar calendar, and the changes from a year of the rat, primarily associated with water, to the year of the ox, primarily associated with earth, and that explains the colors in this chart. Now let's come to the months. And again, we have different situations and different beginnings. And here is the overview. And why is it important? For example, when we look at the Feng Shui and the flying star number 5. In my previous video, I already explained that it's a difficult situation in the East right now because the situation from the year is doubled in the month, and especially for the flying star. And it's not advisable to have water in flying star number 5. And in that video, I gave the largest period which might be considered from the solar to the lunar calendar, and that's from early December till early January. And please pay attention that afterwards the 5 is going to the southeast. And so again, it's the month which starts with this, and then the year picks up. And so from 13th January onward, I would recommend to not have any water feature in the southeast. Now, what about exact timing? Here you find 3 columns of time, and I'm not only Feng Shui consultant, but before that I studied mathematics. So I like to have things clear and scientific wherever it's possible. And the other thing, just to mention, studying mathematics also helps a lot in creativity. So if you want a consultation from me, be sure that solutions I suggest for you can be quite creative, and I can find solutions for very complicated situations because I have a lot of knowledge and I have a lot of imagination. But back to this, in the central column, we have the Central European time for Central Europe from, say, Spain through Germany to Poland. And here we have the time for the UK, for Portugal, and for the Canary Islands. And it's Greenwich Mean Time or Universal Time. And here we have the time for China. The sun goes up in the east, so it starts in China previous to Europe. And that's why the time, for example, here we have timing where it's 6 a.m. in the morning for us, and it's already 1 p.m. in the afternoon for China. So on a usual day, that's not that big a problem. But for example, for the new year, the year and the day has started with this timing already in China with the 12th of February, whereas we still have it on the 11th. In red, you find the dates where the day has already moved for China according to Europe. If you want to know more for different time zones and different countries, for example, you may go to the website time and date. And just to mention, you will get this overview in a PDF from me, and I will put the link in the description for this video, so you don't have to take notes. You can find it later on. So I hope you understand a little bit better why I'm not just talking about the new year, but about a transition from one year to the next. And also, just to mention, here are not only blue and yellow as before, but also in the middle there's silver for the element of metal. And that's what, because every of these animal signs has so-called hidden stems, and the ox has water, metal, and earth. And so it's a rather smooth transition. It's not just a bang. But we have a bang on the 21st of December. At first, it's the solstice. And then also we have a so-called great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. And this happens around every 20 years, but not always on solstice. And the planets not always come as close as this year. So it's really a very important day. And that's why, once again, let me wish you a happy new year, because new energy is coming on that day. Even for the Chinese masters and Feng Shui, they say that with this great conjunction, the period in the flying stars really goes from period 8 to period 9 now. And this means a lot of change in our environment and in the overall energy. So it's worthwhile to be aware of it and to check what has been in the old year and what you imagine for the new year, and to make good plans and good fortune for you in whatever you may decide will be the future in the new year for you. Well, then I'll be happy if my little videos can help you to make the best of 2021. And if you want to know more, please contact me, and we can also arrange for an online consultation. And in any case, I hope that you will also stay with me for the next coming videos. You will get quite a bit of information about 2021, and it will not be just one video, but several. I will explain about the good flying stars for the coming year, about the problem with the no water in Southeast, and I will also talk about the health and the liver. So if you still have further questions, please contact me. And as said before, I will also be happy to do an online consultation, and I can make use of my own software for that, so I can show you my recommendations in the floor plan of your own home, office, or environment. Here are the data how you can contact me. And if this has been useful for you, I'll also be happy if you decide to watch further videos, and best of all, if you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any premiere. In any case, thanks for listening, and once again, all the best.